Alright, we need to skip for this video.
You want a joke for this video?
Yeah, we
Steve?
need a joke for the intro.
This movie is a joke. That's our intro.
But we need like something that's actually funny.
That is funny. It's funny that we watched this.
Your face is funny.
Look who's talking. Well, seriously, look. Yeah, exactly. Look at that face. Just like the green guy. Green. Yeah. You know what? Just wake me up when this is over. I'm going to bed.
We're the hoodie the entire time. Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
I told you, just wake me up when this is done.
Arnes. At least you're here. We got you here today.
I know, right?
But today we're going to make up for last week because we're going to go over War of the Gargantuas.
God, the crap he makes me watch, I'm telling you.
By crap, he means we're going to go over this. Yay.
You know what? I got this. Just wake me up when it's over. Go ahead. No, go ahead. You got this.
Alright, well, essentially, if you guys haven't seen War of the Gargantuas, it's a little bit of a confusing movie because you don't really know where the monsters actually came from unless you...
Well, the brown one is Chewbacca's son.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It was like, he was like a lab experiment, eventually gets out, nobody knows where he goes. Then there's this green gargantua that shows up, starts eating people, kind of Attack on Titan style. That's amazing. That's worth the hoodie. And then the brown one shows up, tries to defend him when the humans try to kill him, and then come to find out he has to fight the green gargantua because he's eating people and he doesn't like that.
But the brown one's not a fighter, he's a peacekeeper, man.
I don't know. Brown one seemed like he was kicking his ass the majority of the time we were watching this.
No, towards the end
the green one just like biting him, being like a bitch.
Towards the end, the brown was like, "No, we can save this relationship, man.
Let's talk this out.
Yeah, let's just hug it out.
You don't want to eat the humans." And the green one's just like, the entire time he's just like freaking waving his hands. Nothing's really going on. But then you get like to some of the other fights, which first we'll actually get into the plot real quick. What'd you think of the plot for War of the Gargantuas? I don't think that's a good thing.
Now your explanation of the plot.
The inputs this guy gives us.
This is all I need to know about the plot. It's just like this.
It's fluffy and cuddly with the wrong voice box?
No, it's garbage.
Oh. Why is it garbage?
$100 garbage. Why is it garbage? It makes no sense. It doesn't explain where the guy come from. And then a green one, it just gives you two different theories. Could be his brother, or it could be a piece of his skin that fell off and formed with algae underwater. That's why he comes from underwater.
Because for this film, it was originally a sequel to Frankenstein Conquers the World, where the gargantuas from the film, actually were spawned from cells from Frankenstein.
Okay.
While watching the dubbed, it was only spawned from the brown gargantua.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Like, it doesn't explain any of that.
Well, because in the dubbing, they just wanted it to be like one movie, especially since I think this came stateside before, because again, I haven't really seen Frankenstein Conquers the World, personally.
Well,
really.
This came out in 1968, and then 70s things on Hulu, I'm assuming, when it came out
Yeah, stateside. It's like a lot of those. Like, I still actually haven't seen The Mysterians, because it's just not something like that ever showed up on TV, or really is probably available on DVD anywhere around here.
And he was like, "You can't blow them up, you'll just have thousands and thousands of them."
Yeah, I also love how they're like fighting in the city. There's like a bunch of people, cars everywhere, and the one guy was like, "I can't leave my car here, it's brand new." Next scene, street is perfectly clear. Monsters running down the street. It's like, that seems a little choppy there.
Just a little bit.
And for the most part, at least for me anyways, because I remember watching this back when I was a kid too, and rewatching it now, it just seems like the movie's really slow.
It's an hour and 30 minutes of amazingness.
Yeah, well, it has a lot of, like, it builds up, and it doesn't feel like the payoff isn't really there. Because they try to explain, like, what the gargantuas were, but then again, it's like, all you're really trying to get to is the monster fights and getting the plot to move along towards having these monster fights. And a lot of it's just, like, early on, Green One's kind of eating people, randomly shows up. Because the only exciting thing that really happens in the early portion of the movie is pretty much right at the beginning when
is the water scene when he's like,
the water scene where he's like fighting the octopus. Yeah, then that one where they look under, they're like, "What's under the boat?" And he's just looking up from underneath.
Yeah.
That part's actually really sweet. But that's like those scenes I actually really enjoy in the movie. Like pretty much anything with the gargantuas, minus the suits, but with the gargantuas and the actual plot of the story, it's actually entertaining. Especially when they're trying to kill him.
Oh, you forgot that scene where they stole that from the Goonies. Hey, you guys! 1960s movie still not from Goonies. Unacceptable.
I know, right? I think it was 1968. Actually, sorry, the film was from 1966. Editing it right now. This movie came out
Hulu says 1970, but...
Yeah. Fudge Hulu. But anyways.
Wait, what kind of fudge we're talking about here? When you go
Cookies and cream?
When you go to Frankenmuth...
Cookies and cream?
When you go to Frankenmuth on Saturday, you probably bring me some fudge.
Not my fudge. I'm going to get cookies and cream fudge. I had that last time I was there.
Hey, you see that
Fudge is
energy
delicious.
drink over there? Who bought you that? Yeah.
Our well-earned YouTube money.
This guy's fucking hilarious.
I know,
over
right?
here.
Wait. As per the actors in the film. That's literally a line.
Yeah.
It's like maybe the non-violent one will win. We're also watching the dubbed. Don't watch this dubbed. The dub's pretty bad.
Favorite thing in this movie, at least the redeeming good quality, is the American actor.
What?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, in my opinion, the American actor is definitely the worst part of this movie.
He's the one who made it amazing. The girl falls down the cliff. He's like, hey, yeah, I'll be there. 1 second. And then casually strolls down, you know. She's falling, dying. He's like, yeah, I'm coming. It's okay. Hold on.
She's booking it out of the hotel room. He's like, oh, I guess I'll casually walk after you while still trying to put my tux back on. Oh, hey, I just saw you go out these stairs. Are you down there? I guess I'll go down these stairs and just walk casually down.
The green Gargantua just slams her, drops her, and he's like, hey.
Oh, that seems amazing.
Hey. You okay?
You okay? You awake?
You awake?
You seem like you fell a good 30 feet. You fine?
That guy's amazing.
Yeah, that scene's amazing because you just see the green Gargantua is just literally holding the girl in his hand. Brown one shows up. He's like, what?
I didn't do it. I wasn't going to eat her.
Moving on.
And the brown was like, that's my wife.
You touched my woman.
The movie makes no sense to me. I mean,
yeah, it's just the plot's. It's there. It's definitely not my favorite I've ever seen all these giant monster movies. It's pretty much your standard by the books. Like, even spoiler for the end, how they defeat the monsters is essentially the movie decided that it needed to end itself.
Best thing
with
ever.
With the volcano rising up out of the water to defeat the Gargantuas. Like, it's just they don't even bring up. There's like not any mention of like any kind of like volcanic activity happening out in the ocean or anything. It just kind of shows up.
Just rises out of the water and kills them.
Yeah, like stuff like that really kind of got on my nerves. And again, it's just. And again, essentially, it's just I enjoy the movie when the monsters are around. When the monsters weren't around, kind of drags a little bit, and by a little I mean a lot. Hey, Mothra. Hey, guess what movie we're watching next? And next we're going to go over the suits for the two monsters in the movie, Green or Red, or Sanda and Gyra. Which,
Green and brown.
Sorry.
God.
But essentially we're going to start with brown, which I think is the better looking of the two Gargantuas, or Frankensteins.
You don't want my opinion, trust me.
Like, I think they look cool, or at least
exactly.
The brown one looks cool.
No, it does not. It's just atrocious.
It's just like a giant dude. I think it looks fine.
No. They just took a regular rubber suit and just taped some hair on it and called it a day.
So, had some prosthetics on the dude's face, gave him character. Which I will say that the two monsters in this movie have better character development than anybody else in the movie. Like, is it sad when the monsters have better acting than most of the people you see in this film? Which a lot of them, like, we've seen, like, for the actors, we've seen them in other Toho films. And which they weren't really that bad at this. It's just mainly, like, comparing them to, like, the main ones, like the American actor, who's just like, oh.
Greatest thing ever.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But for the brown one, I think it worked pretty well. It's definitely better than, like, the King Kong suit from King Kong Escapes or even Godzilla vs. King Kong. I think that might be a little bit arguable. But for the green one, or Gyra, that thing looks horrible.
Okay.
In comparison.
Okay, I'll put the dragon down.
Like, the brown one is what I would expect to see out of these kind of films, while the green one's just like, what the hell do they fudge up his teeth for? Like, I guess to kind of make the monsters look a little different, but like, there's just scenes where you see like that teeth like just protruding from his lower mouth. It just really makes him look goofy.
I like the touch-ups they do throughout the movie on the suit. So like when the battle damage, just
It's just red right there.
it just stays on. Like, it's just horrible.
Well, it's nice that they actually kept it on through the remainder of the movie to give at least that some continuity through it. Because you see some parts in the movie, like, again, like with the vehicles randomly disappearing when the monster's running through town, kind of makes you question things a little bit.
Or when he's running through the shipyard and he knocks over the plastic thing, you can clearly see it's plastic.
But Big Green's just kind of, like, pretty hideous looking, which I guess might be what they were going for. Especially with his, like, lower tummy. Where he's got that, like, little pouch on the lower section.
He's fat. He eats humans.
Yeah, he just
They're
eats
high
way
in
too
cholesterol.
much.
They're high in cholesterol. They're bad for
Fatty acids.
Yeah. What do you think Hannibal Lecter was like? Oh, I gotta stop this.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, man.
Also, what I liked about the suits, at least, is that for the fight scenes, they're actually pretty well choreographed for the most part.
Because it's just a rubber suit with some hair on it.
Well, yeah, but like you actually get like fighting, like straight up UFC, like guys on top of each other, just going to town. And when they're actually
wait. As everybody just heard, Steve and Joyce, two guys on top of each other going to town.
Yes.
Just so we're clear on this. Somebody help me. This thing is not protecting me.
Time out. Which is kind of nice because for a lot of these fight scenes, it's a lot more humanistic. Where a lot of the other Godzilla movies, you get like some scratches, some clawing, maybe a little bit of more fisticuffs kind of fighting. But for the most part, it's just like certain scenes get really good.
The tail whips, man.
Yeah, you get the tail whips, atomic blast. Well, this is just straight up fist fights and just hitting things with trees.
I was sad, I would say, that it was no rock throwing here.
There was a lot of rock throwing. There's
No.
buildings thrown at the toys. It was
No,
awesome.
I'm talking about like straight up like Godzilla. Every single movie we've seen.
Or you just see him like kicking? Just
Yes.
kicking rocks?
kicking them. I was sad about that.
Yeah. Also, the one thing that's a little bit depressing about the fights too is that you'll get some really good moves, like the monster gets like judo thrown into a building or something. But then there would be a lot of those scenes where the monster's like, after they started fighting, he'd be like, "You don't want to fight. You need to stop." And the other one's like, "I'm gonna eat babies." And it just kind of takes away from the adrenaline of the fight, and it just really takes you out of it, in my opinion.
But the brown one's the peacekeeper, man.
Yeah, like I understand he doesn't really want to fight, but he doesn't need to keep stopping. Especially after he tried to kill his woman.
Would you fight with your own offspring that grew out of your piece of skin that fell off?
If he tried to eat my wife, yeah.
I thought you'd be happy on that one. You'd be like, oh. Steve's like, grow, dude.
Why won't it come off?
Grow already. Gotta throw it in water with algae, Steve.
Oh, yeah. Just put it in the fish tank out in the living room. Why isn't it up yet? Why is the plecos just sucking on my ring?
Pretty sure you'd feed the fish, so.
Yeah, they'd be happy. And then for the final thing, the props in this film, overall they're okay. Certain things are definitely a lot better than the others. Like, I really like the way the laser tanks look and stuff. But then again, you get like the more normal looking military vehicles and they definitely just look like an RC car just rolling up on the place.
That's amazing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, especially with the people just being like toys on the inside and stuff. Like, I'd almost just rather just not see the people for the most part. Like, I was more happy with the green screen effects that they were trying to do instead of just the actual toy effect that they were going for. Because it's just like, it wasn't even like I had to look at it to see the toys like you'd see in some of the Godzilla. It was just blatantly didn't look real.
Oh, the favorite parts is when the toys were all like lined up, the tanks were, and the guy was standing behind a gun. You know, you can just clearly see that his hands are not even on the gun; they're like next to it, and he's just like,
yeah, the guns are just firing, and the vehicles aren't even moving whatsoever.
Yeah.
Which is kind of typical for these things, but it's just like when you see the aesthetics of the actual toys, and it's already taking you out of the movie a little bit. That just kind of just takes it into another step. Especially like where you get to the final confrontation where they're fighting in the city and you see the vehicles just kind of rolling up on the side of the buildings. They kind of just roll up and you imagine like it would come to like a slow stop. They're just like, "Nyeh." And we're parked.
He's complaining about the best things of this movie.
The toys that I wish I had?
Yeah.
Woo!
Imagine how much money that stuff would be right now.
I know, and then you get to see like building parts thrown on them, and they get smushed, and it makes me sad. Especially when they throw buildings on top of missiles, and the missiles just kind of fall apart. But a lot of the building effects look really good, though. Like, especially, like, I really enjoy the parts of the monsters actually getting thrown into the buildings, or they randomly, like when the green one just kind of runs up on the brown one towards the end of the fight, and they're like on the other side of the building. He literally just walks into the building, pushes on the building, and runs away. He's like, "Ugh, get out of here."
Oh, my favorite scene in the building is when they were fighting, and the brown one was like, "No, we don't have to fight." And a green one just runs up, grabs him, and just like suplexes him over the building, just on top of the building.
Yeah, I also like the part where like when they have their first confrontation and he's beating him with a tree, and the green one runs away. You literally see just like a bunch of people just kind of like running towards the camera, and the monster's just like literally just booking it through all the buildings and stuff in the background. Like that was actually pretty cool. I like that scene a lot.
It still does not make up for what this movie is.
Yeah, because in the end, it's definitely not one of my favorite kaiju movies. Like, it's okay, but when you compare it to a lot of like the Godzilla and Gamera films of the time, it just doesn't really stand up as well for me anyways.
Yeah, because the back piece does not completely fall off and will still roll with it.
Don't you talk about Raids again. Love Raids again. Because the plot's just okay, the acting's a little bit wooden, the monsters are kind of hit and miss. While granted the fight scenes are pretty entertaining for the most part, it's still not really worth the hour and a half I invested in this movie.
That is probably the most redeeming quality about this movie is the fight scenes, I would say.
Yeah, like the fight scenes are actually really cool, like compared to a lot of the other monster movies, because again, a little bit more humanoid and you actually get some like pretty intense fights. But then you have those little breakups in between the fights that kind of take you out of it.
Yeah, no, this movie's definitely thumbs down. I would not.
Yeah, there's definitely better giant monster movies to be spending your time on. It would have helped if we actually seen Frankenstein Conquers the World before this to have a little bit more tie-in. Especially if I wanted to watch the Japanese cut of this film. But what do you guys think of War of the Gargantuas? Please let us know in the comment section below if you guys enjoy this film. Help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.